Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Analytics video session 96. So basically today we will actually try to understand how we deal with multi-value. So basically we have this field called multi-value where there's a lot of text which will be there, and today we will actually check and see how we can deal with those kind of scenarios. So firstly, let me tell you, I have this Excel sheet over here, and you can just quickly check this Excel sheet, and you can just make this data yourself. It's not a big Excel sheet. So basically, we have customer name, age, shift preference, primary number, secondary number, tertiary number, and I have just taken a random contact from contact 1 to 10. Age you can randomly take. I have taken some random numbers here, and these are the shift preference. You can manually write it. So I've given morning space, afternoon space, evening, and this way continue. Morning space, afternoon. One of the, I mean, there are two rows which are blank. Okay, and of course there is primary number, just some random numbers given over here, some secondary number as well as some tertiary number. Okay, that's it. So this is a customer data set which I have manually created. You can just copy down from here. It won't take much time for you. Okay. Now, what we will check is about this one, because as you can see, there are three values altogether over here. Fine, and we will check how we deal with this kind of value in the recipe in the multi-value. Okay, so this is a multi-value. So firstly, the first step is of course loading it. So I will just go to dataset and I will choose the CSV file. It is this one. I'm not CSV itself. I think, yeah. This is CSV file. That's fine. And what I will do is I will just save it into new recipe dataset. Go to next. Now over here, as you can see, age is fine. It's a number, but it's primary number. This is nothing but a dimension for me because I won't be doing any calculation over here. Okay, so just let me change this to dimension. That's it. And finally, let me upload the file. Now the file got uploaded, of course, and let me create a new recipe. So let's run the recipe session 13. Firstly, what I will do is I will just add that dataset, that is the customer dataset. Okay. Now, what I will do is I will just simply register this, right? So that's not an issue. I will simply register this one and nothing just right over here. Customer recipe dataset. Let me save it in my recipe dataset, and that's it. We are also let me mention this. Okay. So let me save and run this. Let me do this. This session copy. Of course, let's monitor this right now. So as you can see, this ran successfully. Now, very quickly, let me open this data set, of course. And very quickly, let me go to the values table. Now, one thing if you observe over here, basically, I have the shift preference. Okay, so the shift preference which is there, let's say bring it at the very top as of now. That's fine. It is shift preference. If you observe here, basically we have all these three preference. Now, if I want to see which are the contacts, so let me bring the contact name as well over here. Okay, I custom name. I'm sorry, this is the custom name. If I want to check like which are the contacts or which are the customers who are available for my morning preference shift, okay, so it will be difficult for me to filter out. The reason being here, I mean, if I go for the shift preference, I'm getting in this manner. That is, whatever multiple values are there, I'm getting in that manner. Now, if I select morning, for example, okay, the problem is it will only show me those preference which are having morning. But as you can see on the Excel sheet, there are other contacts who also prefers morning shift. But only if the value is single morning, then it's only filtering out that one. So with this text, actually, it becomes difficult for me to filter out. But let's say if the client wants to filter out all those people who have the preference of morning shift, then it will be difficult if it's only a text one. Okay. So now, just to ensure that we kind of solve this issue, first of all, let me just save this as customer information lens, and let me save it in my recipe dataset. That's fine. And what I will do is over here, let me just refresh this. I will just create a transform node and we will learn a few other functionalities which is we have related to multi-field. So here if I click on transform node, now let's say I select the shift preference, I go for this custom formula. Now firstly, if you see over here, we have all these functions which is related to multi-value. Okay, so let's understand this first function itself, because anyhow I have to use this as well right now. So what is the split function all about? So first of all, let me just insert this. Okay, my canvas, and here if you see, it's saying that it splits a string at the specified delimiter and returns a multi-value. So basically with this function we can convert a string into multi-value, right? And that's what we'll check. If limit is specified, then returns that much. So we are not worried about this last option, that is limit, which is optional as well. But what I want to do is right now, the shift preference which was there. So basically the shift preference, what I will do is I will just convert this into multi-value. Okay. So I have a space over here, as you can see. So what the split does is, like, this particular value which is there, after morning, I just want to split that. So morning will be a separate entity, afternoon a separate one, and evening a separate one. And with the split function, a comma will be inculcated over there. So I have this space. So with the space, I'm going to ensure that it gets splitted up, and it will be showing as morning, comma, space, afternoon, comma, evening. So we have that space automatically inculcated when we use this function of split. Okay. So let me write this over here as shift preference. Let's say I write it as directly multi-value. Okay. So let me directly write it as multi-value. That's fine. And of course, this output type will be multi-value. Okay. And that's it. Let me click on apply. Now, if you see over here, if you see the previous section itself, of course, we will see properly on the data set. This first thing, this field which we had of shift preference, which is nothing but a dimension, which I uploaded as a dimension, this got changed to multi-value. So whenever we see a multi-value field, basically we will see this notation over there, which is, curly braces, the open and close curly braces, which suggests that there are values over here and it's a multi-value. So that's the thing about this multi-value which you see over here. Okay. Now, what I will do is, basically, let me just write over here. Now I will click on apply, and firstly what I will do, I will just save and run this recipe after creation of this shift preference multi-value. And once again, I will just monitor this of course. So let's monitor this. So of course this ran successfully. Now what I will do is I will just refresh this particular data set. So the problem with that original field which I had was that shift preference morning, only that morning was coming up, that record was coming up, where it contained only a single pick list value of morning. Okay. But now with another data I mean another field which is coming up. Let us take up this field, that is shift preference multi-value. And what I will do is, instead of doing the shift preference over here, I will just go for this filter selection of shift preference multi-value, and I'm going to select morning over here. Okay. Now, if you see practically right now, of course, this last particular column which is there, that doesn't make sense. Okay. But if you see the other values like the shift preference, I'm able to get all those customers who are comfortable working in the shift, I mean in the morning shift. So that's what I got. Okay. And similarly, if I go for afternoon shift, I will get all those customers who will be comfortable to work on the afternoon shift. Okay, it's giving me the complete information. So the whole idea is basically like if you want certain information, like if it's a pick list field, for example, in this Excel sheet, if you see there are three values for the shift preference, that is morning, afternoon, evening, and of course this is a text field. Okay, I have uploaded it as a dimension. But the problem is that once we go to the dataset layer, we cannot segregate, we cannot filter out for each of the values from that pick list. So if I want to check, okay, all those customers who are from morning, who have morning shift preference or afternoon shift preference, that is not possible if we just go around and just put it as a dimension. With multi-value, one good thing is that, for example, if I again open this particular data set, with multi-value, what is happening is, for example, right now, if I just want to check the shift preference, it is completely giving me all those information. But if I filter it down with the multi-value, so this multi-value, and if I just want to check who are the ones, who are the customers, or 1 minute before that, let me just also bring in the customer name. And now if I go for that multi-value, then if I select morning over here, so here I get the complete information of all those people. So you can see over here from contact 1, contact 2, contact 4, 6, 7, and 10. These are all the persons who have this morning shift preference. Okay, so I get that complete details of all the customers over here. Fine. So that is the beauty about multi-value, that once you have that multi-value field, each of that particular values which exist in that cell, that can be filtered out. Okay? That can definitely be filtered out, which you cannot do if you just simply go for this values as a text field, I mean as a dimension. Fine. But one disadvantage, of course, is then over here, if I just select the bars as multi-value, unfortunately, it will just pick up the random one. Okay, so it will just randomly pick up one of the value from morning, afternoon, and evening. Usually, the first value which it uh, places over there. So, for example, if we go to that recipe once again, and if you see here, basically this is my first value all the time, which is the morning one. Okay, so that's why it actually shows you that first value over there itself. Fine. That's the thing. But and similarly, for example, if I go for afternoon right now, okay, yes, it's showing me that afternoon values. So unfortunately, in the shift preference multiple value, I won't get to see everything. But at the end of the day, it solves me the problem of, now if I go for evening, let's say, it is showing me all the evening ones as well. Okay. So that's the thing, you will get to see one value only under the bar section, whichever you have selected. So ideal way is then at that time you can go for this text one, which will actually give you the complete details, okay, of all those things. For example, right now you see for the shift preference, so for that evening, so these are all those contacts which are having the evening shift preference, okay. So that's the beauty about this. So of course in the bars you cannot bring this multi-value, which you can only see that single one. That is also possible, but basically that filtering we can do easily, okay. And if you want to see the details like for each contact which are the complete preference, then we can go for that textual format, right? So yeah, this is the just the beginning of this introduction to multi-value. We have a lot of functions. We have just walked through one of the functions only, which is related to split, and in the next sessions we will go through a few more functions as well. So yeah, please do that and subscribe, and yeah, thank you all.